All right, everybody. Welcome to Cravin, our podcast. All right, everybody. Welcome to Cravin, our podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Fiora, and this is my partner here, Ty the Wood Underwood.
Wood.
And we have our tech savage,
Yes.
Chris Cordero, a.k.a. Christoph. How you doing?
I'm alright.
All right, so today this episode is brought to you by Action Sled Supplements. Go to www.actionsledge.com and get all your supplement needs. If you have any questions, hit us up and use Fiora 10 for a discount code if you want 10% off.
Right.
So,
good times.
Anyways.
Yeah. Hey, so we got the cadets today. That was fun.
Yeah.
One of the better academies that I've seen in the last few. They're all pretty squared away, but you know, Firearms Week's always fun and introductory. They all come in super nervous and like, they don't know what to expect. But it was a good class. It was good. They did well with the training and everything.
Panzer's doing really good with the academies now.
Yeah, I told him that behind his back because he wasn't there today. So like, when Pueblo was gone, I was like, you guys are like really lucky. He's probably the best training sergeant we've had. Like he's pretty spot on. So. Give him some advice about, just talking to him about experiences and stuff. So I feel like if I had that much downtime, I'd really want to pick his brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're pretty lucky like that. But they did well. We talked about, went over all the firearm stuff, got all the curriculum done we needed to do today, a little ahead of schedule. So that's good. And talked about embracing the suck, right, which is a giant thing there.
Yeah.
So they brought up chemicals. A few of them have been sprayed like by their buddies and stuff. And one guy's dad worked there. You remember Good Bar? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So his son's in the academy. So he's like, cool. Yeah, I've been here with Top Cop a couple times.
Good Bar's a good dude.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to just hit on that, like, and embracing the suck, right? Like what it means. So what I always break down with them is like, you have a chemical exposure, they're going to get CS and OC sprayed, and no one wants to do that, right? Like it seems almost like a hazing thing when you're in the academy. Like they're going to do this just because it's they're going to fuck me up or whatever. But I always looked at it like after my exposure in the Coda Academy, like that's the day you never forget. So I really try to tell them like, hey, it can be the worst day ever because it's going to suck and you're going to hurt all day and everything's horrible. But if you embrace the suck and look at it in a positive way, then it could be one of the best days of your life, right? And then I started thinking about, like, that's pretty applicable to, like, a lot of the things we do,
Yeah, and, it really depends on who you're around as well. Like, surrounding yourself with. Because, there's the academy, and obviously there's going to be embracing the suck in the academy just because you just got to remember that everybody that you're with is going through the same shit, right? It's just like when we're doing TSU training, right? We could either enjoy it, be miserable together, right? Mm-hmm. But we enjoy it because, if someone fucks up, we all fuck up, right?
Yeah.
So
that's true.
When you're doing shit, like say we fuck up and we have to do push-ups beyond push-ups and push-ups, right?
On your faces.
Yeah, on your faces, right? And we have all our gear on, like 40 pounds of shit or more, right? And we're sitting there doing push-ups and we're tired and we've just been there for fucking 12 hours and we're still doing this shit, right? But like I said, it's about who you surround yourself with. Like we're sitting there doing it, but we're fucking joking about it and we're laughing about it, right?
Yeah.
And it helps it.
It's not going to break us.
It's
we're
just
going to
like,
grow from it, yeah.
Just like in the academy, right? Like when I went to the TSU academy, you learn that real quick because the first fucking 2 days is just hammering,
smoking you,
right? Mm-hmm. And the guys, it's like weeding out the weak, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ones that don't have their strong mindset and that aren't going to be able to embrace that suck as a unit, right? They're going to quit the first 2 days, and then after that, you have a solid team, and you're just you're going through it together, Like one of the last podcast we had, 2 podcasts ago. We talked about raising each other up, right?
Yeah.
When you're around those people, right, one person sets the bar, right? One person goes through that suck, and the next person goes through it, and it's like, I gotta fucking beat that last guy, and then you're fucking laughing about it. You're making it a challenge for everybody.
Right. It changes the whole vibe. You know what I mean? Instead of being there with something you have to do, it's like, no, we're doing this, and it's actually fun. You know, I talked about it on that podcast, but the Lucero thing where we're doing the obstacle course and we're all tired, and it was day 3 or 4, I don't know, but we were just super sore, dude. Like, everything was aching. You wake up in the middle of the night with, like, leg cramps because you're depleted, and you can't eat right because you're out there, you know, for hours and hours. But it was the same thing, you know. I was sitting there doing that obstacle course, like, man, I want to die right now. I want to die.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Lucero was like, hey, like, first one to do this, like, the fastest goes home. So who's it going to be? And Barnes went. And I'm like, well, I'm going to fucking beat Barnes. Like, let's go, you know. So that was a big thing in my mind. Like, it really stuck out and kind of proved something to myself. Like, oh, it's really just about how you look at things. And then, you know, on top of that, so we PT for hours that day. They sent us home. The next day we came back. And, you know, you hear rumors about, like, what's in the TOA Academy, and everyone talks about that 24-hour day, right, where you're there for 24 hours. So we knew we only had 3 days left. It had to be coming, and we were there, and we're doing everything, all kind of building interest vehicles, so I was doing all this stuff. And actually, you guys came and trained with us that time. That was pretty special. So you came for that night training after we'd been there, like, you know, 16 hours or something. And anyway, so we hit that 24-hour mark, right? And Barnes kind of my battle buddy in the academy. We kind of got each other through. I didn't know him that well, but we just kind of hit off after ASP and stuff. And so, you know, he kind of looked at me. He's like, dude, it's been 24 hours. Like, they're going to tell us to go home soon. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, and we're watching you guys out there because you're all certified members. So you're out there fucking on the back of the truck with boxes of pizza and orange juice. And we're like starving. Right? I think you guys left us some crust. Like, hey, you can have what's left. Like, it's Snickle Fritz. Right? Thanks. Appreciate you, bud. Yeah, so, and he's like, hey, it's been 24 hours, dude, we're going to go soon. I'm like, all right, cool. And then, you know, hour 26 came, and I'm like, hey, what do you think, man? He's like, dude, any minute, like, we're good. All right, and then it got to like 30 hours. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, so, anyways, it was around hour 31 or 32, and, you know, we're on a break or whatever, and I tell Barnes, I'm like, dude, like, it's got to be soon, right? And he looks at me, and he's like, we're going to die here. Okay, cool. You know, and there's another breakthrough. Like, as soon as he said that, 32 hours, whatever, dude, let's go. Like, let's go. It was, I think they let us go after 37 because we had to get deep, and ADC was not happy that they kept us there all night because they weren't supposed to, but, you know, Caleb does his own thing, so.
Yeah. And
looking back, I'm glad that he did it, obviously, but, you know, that was another big breakthrough of, like, oh, like, that's all it took was, like, we're going to die here, and then just once you accept it, it's like, oh, then the rest of the, you know, whatever it was, 4 or 5 hours is, I was like, all right, this is fun. Like, I'm glad I'm here. Our last training, too, I was really, it got me pretty pumped up. Like, the new operators that came out that are training, we don't call them prospects anymore. Okay. Fucking prospects. Yeah, those guys, they came out, and they're all cool. But they came out, and it was cool, like, getting the feedback from them, because we had it was pretty intense training.
Yeah.
Right? And I think it's fun and everything, but, like, seeing them, they're like, dude, I got there, and, you know, it started off pretty hard from the beginning. There's Mark 9s going off, like, you know, 2 seconds into it. So so everyone sprayed, and we're like, oh, my God. So you're that new guy, and you're like, what the fuck did I sign up for, right? Yeah. And everyone told me that there, you know, I talked to like 4 different people about it, and they're like, yeah, you know, I was there, and I was like, what am I doing? And he's like, but at the end of the day, you know, each person in their own little different way described it, but they're like, at the end of the day, dude, I was so like proud and pumped up. Like, it was awesome. I can't wait to do it again, you know? And yeah, it got me pretty pumped up. It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, definitely.
Now, you mentioned like a breaking point. So one time that, like that 36-hour day, right? Mm-hmm. That was your breaking point pretty much, right? I mean, what were you like, had that mind, that created that mindset for you, right?
Yeah, I did. So I didn't want to quit, but at the same time, I was like, all right, like, it's almost over. And I kept telling myself that, you know, it was like, it's almost over, it's almost over, it's almost over, instead of just running with it, right? So I think that's when I learned to do the switch, and now it's like, you can't break me. Yeah, so.
Yeah, so in my academy, my breaking point, I don't know if you guys had to do the log run.
No, well, around the track and stuff, we didn't go to like range like I think you guys did.
No, we actually went to wastewater, and it was a long day. You know, we did the track for, it felt like, you know, 12 hours, but it was probably like 1 or 2.
Yeah,
but
20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so we have those big ass logs out there, right? And I think one's like 10 feet, and one's like 12 or something, right?
Pretty big, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, we had to. we had different teams, and mine was Ogilvy, me, and Ogden and Emerson.
That's well balanced.
Okay. So
you just put Ogden on Emerson's shoulder, and then you guys are good, right? Like,
yeah. So oh no, we had Strawberry on there too. Okay.
What up, Emoji?
Yeah, Emoji. So anyways, we were doing the log run, and basically what we did was we had to get that thing on our shoulders, and you had different teams. I think there was 3 of them, and they're like, hey, first one to wastewater is not the first one to get gassed.
Deal.
It's like, okay. So we're all running there, right, with this log on our shoulders. And what we did in our group, and I think the other teams did something similar, but it'd be Ogilvy and Emerson, right? And they'd have it on their shoulders. And then me, Ogden, and Saravia. Like, I'd be in the back, and Ogden was in front, and Saravia was in between, just because of the size and shit, right? But anyways, we had to run the wastewater, right? And nobody got there fast enough. So we had to turn around and go back. And then we had to turn around and go back. Right? And anyways, so during that time, like, I was fucking exhausted. We had, I think we had one more guy on our team. But anyways, he ended up quitting, like the first run, right? He ended up quitting. And Ogden, she couldn't do it anymore. She's just smaller, and anyways,
she's like 80 pounds.
Yeah, fucking heavy ass log. And anyways, we're going, and she steps out. You know, and we let her. You know, we kind of took the took the reins for and that's why we split it up so we can take that break. But you still have to run alongside us. Right. Anyways, then Saravia, he started dying out. Right, and it was just Ogilvy, Emerson, and me kind of switching back and forth while they rested, and then we each got a rest. Right? Yeah. But man, we were like all thinking, just like, "Fuck, dude, I can't do this no more." And I would like that was like my breaking point. Like I was like, "Fuck, dude, I almost quit." Right, but then it just ran through my head like, if I quit, then the other guys are gonna have to step up for me. Right. You know what I mean? And it's gonna make their job harder. Okay, and you already have that like mindset of, hey, we're all in this together.
Get through it together. Yeah.
Right. So I pushed through, and that was like my breaking point. Right. That was like the time where I'm like, hey, we're in this together, fucking embracing the suck together, right? And you don't quit on each other. Right. Okay. I ended up making it through, but I'll remember that day forever. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's when my tactical mindset came in. Is your family, fucking embrace this stuff together. One person falls, it makes everybody's job harder. We all fall, right? Yeah. So, yeah.
It's good times. Yeah, I don't know what it is about that. It's just like I said, when you have that mental break, you're never going back. You know what I mean? Like once it's like a light switch and you hit it and you're like, oh, like my whole world's different now. I get it. Okay, that's cool. You know? Funny story, I remember, so you were bringing up the logs, right? So we're PTing on the track, and we're having to do sit-ups. And we had, it was like Hawthorne, Tandler, me, and Graveson on the log. And
Graveson.
Yeah, Graveson. Good guy. Miss him.
Really good.
Captain Graveson, yeah. It's a good dude. So we're doing sit-ups, and anyways, he was right by me. We probably should have spaced it out better, been a little more tactical on where we sat, right? Because, you know, you want like the 2 strongs on the end. And him and I are just lifting that pole the whole time, like, and lifting them up with it, like, Yeah. So we're pulling the pole up and them, and dude, I did it, and I swear to God, I thought like my whole stomach ripped, like it just came, like it was like a scene from Aliens or something, right? So we sit down, and I'm like, oh. I told Gravison, like, I can't do it again. And he just looked over at me, dude, just so gangster. And he's like, just hold on. He's sitting there and he's doing sit-ups, dude. He's a big dude. And he starts doing sit-ups and just pulling all of us up. And I'm like, but, you know, felt bad. So I'm like, no, I got to, okay, let's go. Let's keep going. Yeah. But yeah. Got to be there for each other, you know, like I said. Because that was my thing. I'm like, well, I'm not going to let him, you know, lift all of us up. Like, I got to help. So,
yeah. I mean, we talked about, actually with Rick here, we talked about like the worst day going to the gym is most of the time your best day, right? It's like embracing the suck in life, right? Yeah. Sometimes life's just gonna punch you in the dick, right? Life's gonna suck sometimes, but I mean, then you think about your family, and I mean, I'm talking from experience because we got to a point where money was a huge issue. And I got to the point where I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna sell all my guns. And that was one thing. That's one thing I'm passionate about, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like hunting and I like shooting and all that shit, right?
Right.
And I was gonna sell all my guns. Gonna take my quad in, sell that, and all that shit, just to get us out of that rut, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about embracing this stuff together. Like my wife, like I packed up all my guns. I wasn't even gonna ask her because I knew she would stop me, right?
Mm-hmm.
She came out pissed off. She's like, "Put that shit back in the gun cabinet." I'm like, "No, I need to do this, right? I need to provide for the fucking family, and this needs to happen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the only way we're gonna get out." And she said, "Put that shit back and go to the room, and I'll talk to you in a minute." Like, okay, put me in timeout, you know. But anyways, put the shit back, and then she goes in there and she's like, "Hey," sat down. She's like, "We're gonna figure it out. We're not gonna get rid of anything, and we're gonna make it through together, right? We'll do whatever it takes to figure it out.
Yeah,
and we're not gonna get rid of any of our shit." Like, okay,
solid.
Yeah, and guess what? I mean, like we worked our ass off for a while, and I was doing 16s at work and all that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And she was doing her overtime as well, and we ended up making it through. And I mean, like I said, sometimes life's gonna kick you in the dick.
Yeah.
But you gotta remember, like, if you have family at home, right? You're providing for them. You have to provide for them. You can't fail because everybody fails in your household, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like I said about the gym, you know, actually Friday, it was one of those days, you know, I was tossing and turning all night. Like I couldn't get good sleep. I think I talked to you about it, right? Tossing and turning all night. Like I couldn't get sleep. I laid down at like midnight and I couldn't get fucking sleep. I woke up at 3 a.m, right? Well, kind of. I was awake all night, but
got up at 3
a.m. Yeah, so at 3 a.m, I said, "Fuck, dude, my mind's racing and all this shit going on in my head. I need to do something, right?" So I got up and I did cardio. Okay, I ended up that helped me out a lot, but then later on that day, around like noon, I said, "Okay, gym time," right? I stared at my shoes. Just to get dressed, it was hard. Just to go to the gym. You know what I mean? Stared at my shoes for probably like 30 minutes. Like, fuck, dude, I don't feel it. Right? So I said, fuck it. Put my shoes on and got dressed, everything, right? Went to the gym, sat in the car trying to get fucking motivated. And it wasn't happening. So I was like, okay. So I went down to the beach and I sat there for a second. I just watched people and all that shit. Just people watch, right? And like, fuck, dude, well, you know, fuck it. I'm just going to go to the gym. Turned around, went to the gym. Fucking went in there, put the headphones on. Could not fucking find my rhythm. You know what I mean? Anyways, I had a fucking amazing workout. You know? But yeah, I mean, it was, like I said, that happened Friday, right? I feel like my discipline's pretty good, but Friday was, I don't know what was wrong with me.
Some days you got to search for it. It's just not there.
Yeah. And I mean, once you fucking get up and just do it, and just fucking do it. It's just like when I was talking about like provide for your fucking family, right? People depend on you, right?
Yeah.
Well, in reality, you're depending on yourself as well, just like the gym, right? Hold yourself fucking accountable, and it's gonna suck, and you're gonna beat down, and you just need to suck it the fuck up and do it, you know. And it's not just for your family; it's for yourself as well,
right?
You know, like the gym, you're doing that for yourself, you know. Because, like I said, I went in that gym, I fucked shit up, okay. Had the fucking best arm day I've had in weeks, right? And it's just because when I started, like that motivation, I didn't get the motivation, right?
Right.
My discipline started kicking in, and I'm like, you know what? I'm fucking proud of myself for coming in here, doing this shit, right? When I walked out, I had my head up high, and like,
you earn that positive mental attitude, right? Every day runs through for it. I think a lot of people, they tend to think like, if I do this, then everything will be okay. If I do this, I'll be happy. Like humans, we suffer. And every day people are suffering, right? It's just how much you let it affect you.
Yeah.
So going to the gym, getting that pump in, whatever, you know, like you said, you did cardio, you felt good, right? And then you thought about the second gym, you're like, it kind of died down. Like, you got to earn it and put in for it.
Yeah. But I mean, you fight for that reward, you know.
some days it comes easy, and some days you gotta search. You really gotta dig deep for it. Yeah. It's there.
That's definitely the case because I remember a few times like when I first started the academy, like back in Jersey. I've never been into law enforcement, obviously. I explained before in my other podcast that, I came from like a really bad upbringing. Mm-hmm. So when I finally got into the academy, even that was a struggle. I had to sit with like gang task force, in front of their whole board, and they had to interview me because of my past history. And at first I didn't want to do it, obviously because I already had the mindset that once I get in it, or once I get that opportunity that I'm going to fail them, I'll be like, hey, look at his record, let's just get him out of here. We don't want his type or whatever. But
yeah,
I still did it.
You were talking yourself out of it.
Yeah,
well, giving yourself an out if it happens, right?
If it happens, just not setting my expectations so high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like you said, so I get myself an out about it. And then finally, when I got into the academy, I just had the mindset that I'm just going to get in there, graduate, and get the fuck on. Start my career, do whatever it is that I had to do.
Right.
And throughout the weeks of training, we got there at we started training at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. We PT'd for like 2-3 hours. Then we had like 15 minutes to shower. Then you had to leave from the college to the training facility and then, go through the academy process or whatever. But one thing that I struggle with, and I tell everybody this, is cardio. I hate running. I might look like I'm in shape for it, but I'm not. It's the devil. I always say that.
It's a sin.
It's a sin. It definitely is. It's the eighth sin, I believe. You know what I mean? So I can't stand running. And every Friday it was called Far Fridays. Far Fridays. So normally, we'd run like maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles around the college or whatever the case would be. But Far Fridays is anywhere from 6 miles to 10 miles. Oof. Yeah, exactly. So we would run from the college all throughout the county all the way back to the college. And it was about, 8 to 10 miles every Friday. And after the first one, I wasn't the fastest. I wasn't the slowest. I was in the middle. And I always found myself by myself. And I didn't really I had the motivation with the other cadets that were around, whether they were behind me or in front of me, to keep going. But like I said, I would suck myself out. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's too goddamn far, first of all. Yeah. My legs cramping, my calves cramping, everything in my body's cramping. I wanted to quit. But the whole process of me going from start to finish to actually getting to law enforcement, I felt like if I would have quit then, it'd have been all for nothing. Mm-hmm. And I think that's life in general. When you decide to face challenges and face obstacles, the more you pursue challenges in your life, the better you're going to be as a person, the better you're going to be as a leader. You'll have that drive to push through. You have that fire, that tenacity, know what I mean, to push through any obstacle, any challenge. Yeah. And every Friday that came around, I kept telling myself, oh, I love running. I love it. Even though on the inside of
it's
me,
the best.
It's the best. It's, oh my God, you know what I mean? Yeah. It was killing me inside. Yeah. But I did it. I was a class leader, and I had to keep my team or the other recruits motivated. I couldn't show them that I really hated this. I wanted to quit. You know what I mean? Because if one of them fucked up, obviously we all fucked up. You know what I mean? Or I would get punished for it. Yep. And I couldn't show them that that I was angry for at them for making a mistake or whatever the case may be. It was a challenge, and even in that aspect, with some of the recruits that would do those things, I put it in my head that it was a challenge to make them better. You know what I mean? If they're fucking up and there's something I could do about it, why not just do something about it? Yeah. Instead of just sitting there and be like, well, he's a fuck up or she's a fuck up. Yeah. You got to take that initiative, embrace it, and just deal with it and get them on a level where everybody's on the same page. You know what I mean? And even during those Far Fridays, I had some of the recruits who were, long distance runners, people who were in Olympic fucking track runners and shit.
Kenyans.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, Kenyans. Yeah, you know what I mean? Will motivate me to keep on going. And I wouldn't be able to catch up with them, but I never quit. Mm-hmm. And then I made it a point to myself that if I got to the finish line before some of the other recruits who were slower than all of us, I would go back. Mm-hmm. If it was 3 miles, if it was 4 miles, just to keep telling myself, I hate this course of training, but I have to get better at it because I don't want to be that guy if an officer is down, that by the time I get to where I need to be during the code or whatever the case may be, what type of shape I'm going to be in when I arrive. And that's something that one of you guys, I assume, wrote on the board in shift command. You know, if there's a 999 called, you know, what type of shape are you going to be in when you arrive? You know, I want to be in the best shape possible so that the officer who is down, you know, I can help out or crowd control, whatever the case would be, because in that situation, if it was me, I would want the same thing. You know what I mean? It might suck then, but, you know, you got to do what you got to do. And like I was telling you before, that grouping that we had on, what was it, Thursday? Friday.
Yeah.
And during 4, you know, it was like my 3rd day of training as a sergeant.
Yeah.
So me and Chavez get in there, and they were like maybe seconds away from swinging at each other. And, you know, I get in, and, you know, there's a group here, there's a group there, and they're like trying to rush each other and stuff. And in my head, I'm like, oh, fuck. You know, it's my 3rd day. And
right.
You know what I mean? Like, this shit sucks, but, you know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? It was one of those things where, as an officer, I would know what to do, you know, as line staff, but then thinking that as a sergeant, it's like I got to think of different demographics,
the whole picture.
The whole picture. Like, what can I do now? Because you can see certain officers may not have been confident, you know, in that scenario, and you have to set the example. You know what I mean? Whether that means, you know, going up and down the dorm aisles or whatever the case may be, just to show them, like, you know, it's not a good situation, but we still have a job to do. You just got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, actually, so the thing that I wrote on the board, that was me.
Right.
But
oh, thank you for taking credit. But
you're welcome.
welcome.
So
I was waiting for it. I knew he was going to let it slide.
yeah, I knew he was.
But no, but I mean, yeah.
He did. He told me, though, he got back from counting. He's like, you know, I was at counting. I got really fucking pissed off. I'm like, oh, yeah, why? He's like, well, I was thinking if there's a 999 called, what kind of shape am I going to be in? And it pissed me off because I don't feel ready.
Right.
He wrote it on the board.
He wrote it on the board.
Right,
Hey, yeah, whatever you got to do.
Well, yeah, once you work in a career like this, right? I don't know. I like sometimes the shit runs in your head, right? I was thinking.
Hopefully it does.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like, you know, playing scenarios through your head, like maybe the tactical mindset, right? When you go into a dorm, you start thinking of, oh, well, if this happened, what can I do? What am I going to do if this happens, right? What am I going to do if these inmates come up and try to fucking assault me or something like that? You know what I mean? Yeah, like I said, I was in count, and I was just sitting there thinking, like, I just kept imagining an officer getting assaulted, right? Calling 999, and it's all the way across the yard, right? And I'm not in the best shape of my life right now, right? I was thinking to myself, like, if I had to run from fucking dorm 7 to dorm 4, okay, and I got there, what kind of shape am I going to be in? You know, am I going to be fucking exhausted, breathing heavy? I'm not going to be able to give verbal directives as loud as I can. I'm not going to be able to assist that officer to the best of my ability, right? It just pissed me off because it's like, if that happened right now, right? Like, I don't know what kind of shape. I mean, I know just how we train for TSU, right? I'm going to be able to handle business, but am I going to be in good enough shape to be able to help, like, against multiple inmates, right? Am I going to be able to defend myself when I get there, along with that officer, or get the officer? You know what I mean? But it's just like taking accountability of myself, right? And like you said, I mean, it really frustrated me because, like, what the fuck? Why am, you know? I obviously I'm trying to tell myself something. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm trying to tell myself something like, you know what? Maybe I should fucking do more cardio. Maybe I should, you know, step up my game, because if that did happen, and if I got there and as the shift commander or a sergeant or anybody, right, even an officer, if you get there and you can't help the best of your ability, it should piss you off.
Absolutely.
Like running scenarios through your head, and I mean, if you're not putting yourself in that place, like, yeah, I could go in a dorm every day and say, well, if these inmates are going to come up and assault me, yeah, I'll do this, I'll fucking grab this, and I'll defend myself with that, whatever, okay? But guess what? What do we teach all the time? And like, at least in self-defense, how long does a fight last? Most of the time, right?
Yeah.
A couple minutes, because people forget how to breathe, and people just fucking exhaust, like, you just get tired real easy, right? Yeah. Adrenaline's pumping, all that shit, right? So if you're trying to fight off multiple inmates, 5, 10, fucking 3, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can run scenarios in your head, but like put yourself in those fucking shoes. Like, are you going to be in good enough shape to be able to fucking defend yourself for that long for your responders to get there, right? Against fucking 5 inmates, right? Are you going to be able to help a brother out when you're running across that fucking yard? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I've talked about it too, but that's my whole. That's the only way I can get myself to run. I don't care if we're training, what we're doing. The only way I can get myself to run is like there's some kind of emergency and I gotta go help someone like on the yard. That's it. That's the only way I can get my ass moving. Because other than that, it's like, no, I'm over it. Like, I'm going to put on Dragon Ball Super and I'll walk on the treadmill incline and I'll be good. You know what I mean? But, you got to do that in your head. And I think you go in there smart, right? Like, kind of like with the Cordero thing Thursday when he came in and he was training with us. And we had the dorm up there. I don't know why I thought, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to cover what a sergeant does with the grouping. Let's go over that. You know what I'm saying? So, it's kind of weird, right? So then the next day, he deals with a grouping, and it's the exact scenario that we went over. So I seen the text come through, and I'm like, all right, Cordero's there. I just went over this with him. Yeah. Like, I trust him. Anytime I've given him advice or like, hey, this is how we do it, he does it to a T. So I'm like, okay, he's got it, you know? Right. And that's a good feeling, too, to know, like, that... Like if you're not there, if you're not working the unit, but you hear, oh, this happened on swing shift, then like we get the text as it's happening. It's live, right? This is going on right now, so we don't know how it's going to play out. So you start to worry about people, right? Like, oh shit, this person's there. Are they going to be okay? Are they going to? And I was like, Chavez, Cordero there. It's good. Right. Just went about my business. You know what I mean? Like, they got it. We're good.
Yeah. And it was good, like that you had that conversation with me because I did exactly what you said with the. Doing the rover movement, constant movement, and things like that. And it was crazy because you said, okay, so what do you do? So I gave you my description of what I would do, and then you corrected it. And in my head at the time, like, okay, well, this is what I should prepare for, when something like this happens. And in my mind, I was like, in
the far future,
once I become a sergeant sort of thing. But it was immediate.
Yeah, not 12 hours later.
Yeah, 12 hours later. I was in the exact same situation. I'm like, okay, all right, this is what I need to do. So, I started looking at Chavez, and when I started doing it, I mean, he was doing it on the other side as well. So,
he knows the plan.
And then it motivated other officers, like I said, who were there, who were not used to it, were not confident, to be like, okay, well, this is what I need to do. Like, we were all in good positioning, once things settled down. But that constant movement from what you told me, like I said, 12 hours before, man, it really did wonders.
It makes a difference, yeah. And the same thing with the yard grouping scenario, right? So we went over with officers, this, that. Yeah. When it happens, it's going to be like they're not going to know. But as soon as you, like you and Chavez start leading by example, then oh, no, yeah, okay, I remember. I remember what we're doing. Yeah. We're doing that. He's doing that. I'm going to do that, too. I'm going to do it over here. So that's how we handle it, yeah.
Yeah. So, that night, I came home and I've been going to the gym like 5 days a week, right? But I haven't been pushing my hardest at the gym. You know what I mean? Like I usually do. I think it's because my shoulder was bugging me and shit.
Kind of like deloading phase, taking it easy. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's why the scenario popped up in my head is like my body telling me, or just me telling myself, like, hey,
your mind feeling guilty because you haven't been pushing it.
Well, it's like, hey, you got to get your shit together. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I came home and I told the wife, I was like, hey, I got to talk to you. And she finished up what she was doing and sat her down. I was like, totally serious. Because I was pissed off about that scenario that ran through my head. I was totally pissed off. It was a fucking reality check. You know what I mean? I told her, hey, we gotta talk to your parents. We gotta talk to, we gotta get it all in line where I can fucking be at the gym for as long as I need to be at the gym to push myself because I've been fucking slacking. Even though I've been going and I've been going through the motions, right, and keeping it up. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I haven't been pushing myself to improve. You know what I mean? And she's like, okay, all right, well, let's talk to them tomorrow. I'm like, all right, cool, because I'm not fucking playing games with myself no more. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and half-ass the gym. I'm not going to sit here and half-ass life. You know what I mean? I got to fucking seek that improvement, and I haven't been. You know what I mean?
Chris does the same thing, and that pops up in my head every once in a while. And I'll do the same thing. I sit her down, and I'm like, look, I don't think I'm ready. Like, I gotta train way harder than this, Yeah. And then she's always cool and supportive, but it's more of like a a tough attitude. Like, you know, I'll express that to her, like, hey, I don't feel ready. And she's like, well, what the fuck are you going to do about it? Like, I guess I'm going to go to the gym.
I guess so.
Okay, I'll go fix it. Well, my bad.
Go fucking push yourself. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry to bring it up. Thanks, I guess.
Yeah. But no, I get the feeling, you know, and it happens. And I think that, you know, it's you just got to embrace the suck. Back to the same thing, dude. You know it's going to be rough because you've been there and you just got off 75 hard and you know you went ham for a long time, so you had your little deload phase and you got to get back on it.
Yeah,
embrace it.
Yeah, and what's nice though is like when you pass that, you know, like today. Okay, I told the wife, hey, like this was day one for me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's fucking Monday. Even though I went Friday, had a good workout and everything, right? But I said, okay, Monday, fucking day one. I'm going to push it hard, all that shit, right? Went there, chest day. I haven't lifted heavy with bench in a while, and I was up to 425 or whatever, right? Mm. And I haven't done that in a while. And it's because my shoulder shit, but yeah. I feel like that's a fucking excuse, and it just pisses me off when I say it, but
people get dinged up, dude. It's all right. You're allowed to be human.
Yeah. So
he's like, yeah, speak for yourself. Yeah. Anyways,
but no, I mean seriously though, like, there's a humbling factor in that. Like, once I went to the gym and I pushed myself, and I was able to push more than I expected, right? Like I did a lot of fucking machine work, and then when I got to the flat bench, I was like, okay, I did a lot of fucking machine work. I'm not gonna be able to bench past 315, right? And then I ended up doing 375. A couple times, and I asked for a spotter and everything, right? And this is where the humbling factor comes in, right? Once I did that, I was like, my mind reset. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm fucking back at it. I lifted heavy, fucking feeling great, right? Wanted to put more weight on, I didn't, but I was like, the guy that spotted me, right? Started talking to him, and anyways, his kid walks up, and his kid's like 10 years old, and he's in the gym, okay, and he's a little overweight, or whatever. But then his wife walks up, and then his nephew walks up, and
he brought the whole crew, dude.
Well, and I was talking to him, I'm like, hey, you got your family here? He's like, yeah. No, I do this all the time. I do this constantly, but I felt guilty because I'm always in the gym and they're at home, and I didn't have the family time, so I started getting them involved. And he said, Anytime Fitness is the only place around here right now that's allowing kids. Yeah. You know, and he said he went to Planet Fitness for a while, and they wouldn't allow anybody in less than 15 years of age or whatever. Okay, but Anytime Fitness didn't have that. Yeah. You know, so it was just like I was humbled by what I did in the gym, and then that dude had his family there and everything, and that was like super fucking motivating. Right. You know what I mean? Just because there's people out there fucking grinding away, and it just kind of reminds you. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And
making it work. You know?
Yeah, and you know, it was pretty cool. Like his kid was pushing fucking hard, sweating his ass off. Like his wife was doing the same shit, and he was sitting there working his ass off, and it was like, all right, you know, I get what I needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I've done that. You know, the kids will ask, like, oh, I want to go to the gym with you, Dad. It's like, all right. And that was when I was at Anytime, so they're cool. House of Gains is cool. They don't care if you bring people either. Yeah. What up, House of Gains? Yeah, House of Gains. Yeah. House of Gains is shit. Right. Dude, best vibes. You go in there and you just want to do work.
Oh, yeah. When you walk in out. And to touch what you were saying, like, as far as, like, with your family and stuff, I bring my daughter there all the time. She's only 3. She sits on the couch. She plays on her iPad.
Yeah, iPad. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can bring your kids there. You can chill. You can vibe out. Put on whatever you want, man. Like, Addison's a great dude.
So I'll go get a good lift in and shit. And then afterwards, like, when I'm, you know, like, kind of stretching out or whatever, I'll do planks with her and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, it encourages them to be fit. They like it. They like spending the time. Exactly, and then it's a positive thing because I get the guilt. You know what I mean? Like, I think we all feel that.
Yeah, we all feel that.
Because you're there, you know, 2 hours, whatever, getting it in. You're like, yeah, this is really cool.
5, and like, 6 days a week.
Like, they're just at home. Like, I don't know what they're doing. Like, someone's probably feeding them. I don't know. Like,
I hope the wife's doing it, you know, feeding the kids.
You know, but it starts to wear on you. So I think that's a good tactic. And it can be pretty charging too.
Pretty charging.
Yeah, Addison is dope though. He's a good dude.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, so I mean, that was like when I was doing 75 hard. You're doing it now, but when I was doing it and I had my in-home workouts, right? I'd be doing push-ups and sit-ups and all that shit, trying to get my 45 minutes in. and like the kids started jumping in.
Yep.
And, my daughter, she's doing these, sit-ups and shit. And then
Right.
my son gets down, he's trying to do push-ups, and but they're working.
Yeah.
And it was it was motivating. It pushes you even harder. It's just like when I saw that dude with his kids there and his family there. It's fucking motivating, and it's gonna help me push harder the next time. And then it's gonna help me get my family involved in the gym. And it's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good shit, right? I think, so for the outside workouts, I'll do that too when I'm there, and I'm not running around or anything. They'll come out and, we want to work out with you. I'm like, all right, start doing burpees, let's go, Yeah. And I was crazy sort of the last time Bella came out and she did it with me. Riley, he'll stay in for a few sets and then he's kind of like, yeah, I'm over it, dude. Like, I'm going to play Batman. I'm like, all right, dude, I get it. He's still young though. But Bella, she'd, jump in there, and I was sore and I was beat down. That's my disclaimer, dude. But we started doing burpees, and then I started getting tired, and she was just cruising, and I'm like, shit, she's gonna beat me on burpees right now. Like, I gotta step this up, dude. Yeah, those kids, they can get down, dude.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I mean, there's a total humble factor when it comes to all that.
Yes, Siri.
But I mean, it's a really good feeling, and I mean, just the community that it brings to you. You know what I mean? Just like that you surround yourself with.
When I've taught them that lesson too. Using working out, because obviously, I'm not gonna spray my kids, right? Hands. So
You're not.
I'm not going to expose them to chemicals. But same thing. They're like, this is hard. Yeah, it's hard. But we set a goal, right? You said you're going to do 30, so you got 10 more. Let's go. Embrace the suck. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
But same thing. Even a little kid, they actually complete that goal, and they're like, that was hard. I didn't want to finish it, but I did. And that was cool, Dad. Yeah, it was.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Telling you, it's a light switch, man. You got to find it. Push yourself beyond your limits, and it'll hit. And you got to keep elevating.
Yeah.
Just got to face your challenges. You know what I mean? That's all it is. I look at everything like a challenge. You know what I mean? And just trying to learn from it as best as possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if you're nervous. You know what I mean? I'll be 100 with you guys. With this promotion. I'd be a fool if I would say oh yeah, I got it. You know what I mean? I'm confident in being a sergeant. Am I nervous about some of the things that may come up that I don't know? Yeah. But once I face them and get through that first initial process of it, or initiation, so to speak, whether it's paperwork or dealing with staff or whatever inmate problems that may arise, then that's going to build your confidence. You'll be able to push through, and then things that would normally seem really bad at the time would just it's just dirt off your shoulder, it's nothing at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's good. Even before corrections, I started doing this. I just don't like the idea of everything kind of comes back to fear, right? Because I've watched Inside Out a lot, and that movie's pretty fucking dope, dude, for a kid movie.
which one?
It's deep.
Oh,
Inside Out.
Oh, Inside Out.
Yeah. Dude, right? Oh god, it's so good.
It's really deep.
It's so good, dude.
It's deep.
as
It's
fuck,
deep.
dude.
Yeah, real deep.
Yeah,
They could have named the girl something different than Riley, but whatever. We'll let that go. Right, but anyway, so even before corrections, so my big thing, when Chris first moved in with me, is I wanted to I was like, all right, so not really a timid dude or whatever, but I was super afraid of heights. I just didn't like being in buildings. I don't like looking down. I hated it. And we went to Hawaii, and she was like, well, what do you want to do? What would be one thing you want to do? I said, well, I want to go skydiving because I hate heights. So I'm going to make myself jump out of a fucking plane, right? And you just so I would have never done it if I thought I was actually going to do it, as stupid as that sounds, right? So I signed up, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we're going to jump out of a plane. That's cool. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to do that. No, I'm not, right? And it started off well, just get in the jumpsuit, they said, right? So it's just one step at a time. You just embrace the suck, but you just break it down. Instead of I'm going to go jump out of an airplane, it was just I'm going to put this jumpsuit on. I'm going to let him put the little stupid backpack on. I'm going to get in the plane. I'm not jumping out of it. I don't want to get in the plane. You know what I mean?
Your parachute.
Yeah.
The backpack.
Yeah,
the stupid
the
backpack.
The stupid backpack that saves your life. Yeah, right. And then it was like, hey, I'm just gonna let him open the door. Like I'm not jumping out, but he's gonna open the door.
I'm just gonna stand.
We're
on
just
the
gonna
corner.
look down.
I'm just gonna stand on the corner. I mean, it's whatever.
And the dude, so I'm deathly afraid of heights, right? And the dude that's fucking with me because you got to go tandem when you go for the first time. So, you know, we're fucking getting high altitude, and he's like, "Hey, we got some experienced jumpers today, so we're gonna go a little higher. You guys get that for free." I'm like, "Oh, fucking perfect."
Oh, great.
Yeah, thanks. 2,000 feet higher. That's cool. Let's do that. Yeah, right. Longer to die.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he's like, and he's fucking with me, and he goes, "Hey, you ready, man? You ready?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm ready." He's like, "No, you're not. I didn't strap you in yet." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" You better look up whenever needs to be hooked up. Like, I'm not playing around right now. Yeah, it was crazy, and you know, jumped out of an airplane. It was cool. I definitely fell through a cloud. That was pretty cool. They're moist. If you don't know that,
Moist?
yeah, moist. It's like
Misty?
misty. Okay. Misty. Is moist not a good word? I know.
No. Moist.
A lot of people don't like that word.
Dude,
Moist.
my wife
Moist.
hates that word.
Yeah, I don't know why females moist. I don't know. It's
No,
something
like,
about it. Moist.
like even like how we wash my hands.
Why you
It's
rubbing
so
your hands?
moist.
Yeah.
You
I've
know,
heard a
so
lot of
moist.
females
She's
say
like,
that.
"Stop
I don't
saying
know why.
that."
It's weird. It's just a word, guys.
Come
It's
on.
moist.
Come on.
Yeah. So yeah, it's yeah.
Are you feeling
Yeah.
moist? Yeah.
It's weird, but it was cool too because I'm falling and then like it's the ocean and the island and and then you fall into a cloud and all you can see is white everywhere. It's like you're in a fog, and then you know like you fall through the cloud and then oh yeah, there's everything again. That's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was cool.
I mean, that makes sense too, like what you said, like, you know, that's a good analogy. You said, like, you're falling through a cloud and all you see is white around you. It's a fog. You know, that's like every.
I'm doing totally different with that when he was talking about
Okay.
you see white all around you.
Oh, God.
My bad. Proceed.
Anyways, perverted as. You know, it's like challenges. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, like you guys, you know, saying like embracing the suck or whatever. You get there to that situation or obstacle, whatever the case may be, and you're fogged out. You know, you can't see a solution, or you can't see, in your case, the ground. You know, which is not a. It's a good and a bad thing. 'Cause you don't want to go through the cloud, then it's the ground.
Yeah,
you know what I
that's
mean.
all
So
I didn't see that coming.
cloud, dead. You know what I mean. So, but it's the same thing. You know what I mean. And then once you get through that fog, like you said, and you can see clearly where you're going to land at, then it'll make all that hard work, those steps that you were taking, that much more appreciative. You know, it'll build that strength, that mindset. You get over that fear, like you said, to, you know, like in your case, jump out of an airplane. You know what I mean? So I think that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Really dope.
I think the important part is just like I said, like break it down to steps, right? So yeah, you have to embrace the suck, but if you just take that whole challenge, it's very overwhelming, right? So sort of like a power list. Yeah, you just break it down. I'm gonna do this, and that's the next step. Then I'm gonna do that,
Right.
And that's how you get through it. Just one step at a time,
step
one
at a
punch at a time, one round at a time. You know,
Yeah.
because you know you're in the fight for your life. So you know, just take it one thing at a time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Life's a challenge. It's a huge challenge from day one. Birth. Okay. Finger dexterity.
Okay, you
Finger dexterity.
You don't have to do the finger.
Through observation alone, I learned to walk and talk.
But I mean, one step at a time. It's just like when bills were tight. I mean, yeah. I was gonna take that extra plunge and sell all my shit. I mean, that could have corrected the problem. That could have not. And then we're out of. I'm just out of a whole bunch
But
of
in your mind, it was like this is the fix instead of a process to get there.
Instead of process, and we did the process, and I mean, we succeeded. You know what I mean? We got one step at a time, and it's just like anything you do, you know. Like you were talking about the academy when you went through. I went through a police academy in California, and I wasn't really into fitness, and I wasn't really into like any of that shit, right? And I was like, you never want to be the fat kid, you know what I mean, or the slowest one, or the one that's you feel like you're holding everybody back, and that was me in the police academy. Okay. I mean, really, that's what drove me through the whole thing. You had the drill instructors; they were fucking hounding me every day just because I was the slowest one. I couldn't do the most push-ups. Right. There was other heavyset cadets in there, right? But I was the slowest one. Okay. I ended up getting injured both my ankles ended up getting injured just because I was overweight and I was doing all this shit that I wasn't used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the major things was running. Okay, like we were doing what is it called, the Indian run, where you're in a line and you have to catch up to the front, and then the next person up to the front, right? You're not done until fucking everybody goes through.
I don't know if we can say
Indian
that.
Run?
Is that what it's called?
Well, I don't think you're allowed to say Indian anymore, sir.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
You gotta say Native American.
Yeah,
run?
Native American sprints.
Yeah, watch your mouth.
Yeah, it's Native American sprints.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, anyways, that was one of the things that like everybody's like, oh fuck, it's Fiora, you know, because I couldn't make it up to the front. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and another thing
you would think they'd be happy about that, because if you make it to the front, the next fool's got to sprint up. So like, yeah, take your time, bro. Get there. Right. Just keep jogging. But yeah.
Well, no, but we don't finish until everybody finishes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it made us run longer.
All right. I got you.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it wasn't just that, and then I know, but like I said, I mean, it made a lot of fellow cadets talk shit, you know, in the locker room when we're fucking changing down. You know? It pissed me off, but it turned out to be motivating. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I ended up talking to our director, and he told me, "Hey, go to this place. They see how you run, and they have you run on this fucking platform or whatever, and it shows you, you know, how you step in and all that shit, right?" So, okay, cool. And it was like 2 hours of drive more, you know. So I ended up doing that, and that was the first step. And then I ended up getting shoes that went with the way I ran. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then he said, okay, then the next time, because I asked him for help.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to be that fucking guy anymore. You know what I mean? And so he said, okay, now work towards this. And he gave me another goal. Say, okay, now you're going to focus on your time. You know, don't focus on all the other shit you're worrying about, like being the slowest one and all that shit talking and fucking slowing everybody else down. He said, don't worry about any of that. Yeah. This is your time last time. Focus on improving that the next time.
That's what you can control.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did that, right? The 6 foot wall, right? First, I could not fucking make it over that 6 foot wall. And he said, okay, well, after you get better at running and all that shit, right? Then focus on that. A couple of the cadets, this one dude, McKinney, he was pretty legit. He ended up bringing me out there, and we practiced for fucking hours afterwards. And it was dark out and everything, right? Yeah. And anyways, I practiced enough where I made it over fucking with ease, you know? But I mean, I was taking those steps, and I ended up succeeding in all of that, you know? But if I didn't have that as motivation, right? I mean, if just all the shit talking, the drill instructors every fucking day, you know,
the funk,
all that shit.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah, and but it motivated me after the academy. Like, I didn't want to turn back. I didn't want to be that fucking guy anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's when I started hitting the gym hard, and I started going every fucking day. Started working on my cardio and all that shit. You know what I mean? Eating better. And I mean, that turned my life around. And, you know, it was just that big challenge, and just being able to surpass that challenge with those steps. You know what I mean? But if he didn't give me those steps, I probably wouldn't have been able to pass. Right. You know? Yeah. But
well, you had a lot going on, so you're not thinking of how to break it down or anything. It's good that you reached out for help. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, I think if you focus on your problems and you're focusing on how bad something sucks, then it's hard to prioritize your game plan and, okay, well, I'm just going to do this first, that first, because it's all just like this overwhelming gloom of, oh my God, this horrible situation that I'm in, you know, whether it's life, work, or whatever. So just, I think being able to take that step back and evaluate everything, like we talked about, evaluating your strengths and weaknesses, right? So it's important sometimes, I think, to take a step back from yourself, look at what's happening, and then you can kind of see the whole picture and how to correct that.
Yeah. Yeah, and no quit.
No quit.
No quit. It doesn't matter what fucking life brings to you, you don't quit. Because you just evaluate yourself and what you have around you. Like you said, family, that's a fucking big one. That should be a big one for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're married or have kids, it doesn't matter. Okay, because there's a couple people that I recently talked to, and they were talking about how they lost everybody, right? And the only person they have left is like their mother. And they're like, oh, well, I don't know why I'm even doing this anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, don't fucking quit. You know, because, yeah, you might only have your mother right now, okay? But everybody in your family that's up there looking down on you, okay? They're counting on you. You're saying you're the last.
That's what I was going to say. God's still there. You're
Yeah.
good.
You have all that shit to look forward to, right? And they're counting on you, right? You're the last one in your family. That's what you're saying, right? So push yourself. Be better than fucking anybody expects you to be.
Yeah.
Be better than what you expect yourself to be, right? Just like fucking family at home, right? I'm not gonna fucking fail. Because I mean, even if I fail at the gym, even if I stop working out, fucking eat like shit, get all, fat and out of shape again, right? Like, my kids are gonna see that. You know, they're gonna see that quit in me, and then in turn, because I mean, what are we doing in life, right? We're training the new generation. We're training
Our
the
replacements.
next. You know what I mean? And that's my kids. That's your kids, right? That's the person that's watching you at work, right? It doesn't matter if they look up to you or not. They're going to see that drive in you, and they're going to see that improvement, and that you have no quit, and that's going to drive them to be better. Just like my son and my daughter, right? They see me working my ass off. Okay, guess what? When they get older, they're like, hey, my dad fucking went through this. He didn't fucking quit anything he did.
Every day he went to work.
Yeah. So guess what? When they grow up, they're gonna fucking be hardworking motherfuckers. You know what I mean? They're not gonna quit. They're not gonna have any quit in them. They're not gonna. You always want to give them better than what you had, right?
Right. That's our whole goal, is them to be better than we were.
Yeah. So what better way of doing that? By leading by example.
Always lead by example.
You know what I mean? So
I like it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's good to have that mindset. Like you said, constantly leading by example. It's one of those things in life that it's almost like a double-edged sword. You know, it's you don't want the responsibility, but at the same time, situation dictates that you have to take the responsibility to do so, and you're just gonna have to just do it, just embrace it, regardless of what it is. You touch base a lot about family and law enforcement. I think we all have the same aspect in that life when it pertains to that, trying to balance out your job or career rather. This is more than just a job, it's a lifestyle. You know what I mean? And your family, which is also part of your lifestyle, being a father, being a brother, whatever the case may be. And it's one of those things where you can't always expect something to go a certain way, like I said, regardless of what aspect of lifestyle you're talking about. It's just one of those things that once it comes to you, you just got to embrace it. You just got to do it. You just got to get over that obstacle, get over that challenge. And I think that in turn makes us, better officers, better fathers, better husbands, better leaders at the end of the day,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, family, obviously, preach on the yard. We're all family, right? If you feel like you're slacking in any area, right? Look at your family at home. Okay? Look at your family on the yard. Just like that fucking thing. I mean, if there's a 999 call, okay, and you have to run to save that officer's life, what shape are you going to be in when you get there? Are you going to be able to succeed? Okay? And if not, then fucking succeed.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Get off your ass and just fucking do something, because yeah, you might not have a family at home, but you have a family on the whole fucking yard. And there's a lot of fucking people. I don't care who you are. You can be an officer. You can be fucking commissary. You can be fucking an instructor. It doesn't fucking matter. Because you can say you can be there for somebody. Because that yard is depending on you. Everybody on that yard. Because we're all family, right?
Yep.
I'm a big fucking person on family. Just like I said, fucking 30 times during this podcast. But I mean, that's a huge fucking motivation for me. You know what I mean?
Being, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh yeah,
boss man. Being in shape. The way that I took that when you wrote that on the board, it's not just physically,
right?
It's mentally,
yeah. It's
spiritually. You know what I mean? Like, you always got to be in any situation like spiritually ready. You know what I mean? I've heard that so many times in law enforcement. Before you walk out of the house, what shape are you in? What state of mind are you in? You know, whether that's physical, emotional, spiritual, it doesn't matter. You know, like if you have to react to a certain situation, where's your mind at? Where are you at this point in your life to, like you said, succeed in that situation, regardless of who it is or what the situation is?
Yeah, you got to work that out too, right? So yeah, mentality, spirituality, it's all there. I read a Bible scripture every morning. That's how I start my day.
Yeah.
Read that, breaks it down. The organization I have, JW, they give a daily text out, and then they give you the verse, and then they talk about like what it meant, what was happening at that time, all that good stuff, the lessons we should do, and then they apply it to you as a person, a father, husband, all that good stuff. So yeah, it's a good way to be.
Yeah.
Spiritually, mentally, physically fit. We're not just talking about curls.
Let's just talk about
It's not just bench press.
Fiora.
Read a book.
Because you mentioned your bench press like 6-7 times already. 405, 425.
Somebody's jealous.
Nobody gives a fuck. Shut the fuck up. Jesus.
But guys, if you get anything out of this podcast, fucking embrace the suck. We're all in it together. We're all in life together. Life's a fucking challenge, right?
Yes.
And assess yourself, right? Assess your situation, assess yourself, and look around you because there's people counting on you. Yeah.
So aggressive.
Sorry.
So aggressive.
Look, you can't fail if you don't quit. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Maybe the plan doesn't work. Come up with a new fucking plan. Yeah. But you can't fail if you don't quit. It's that simple.
Yeah.
That's simple. Sounds good to me, man.
Yeah, maybe it's so. I don't know. That scenario just really pissed me off.
You're getting yourself pumped up, dude.
Yeah, man. Well, it just hit me hard. It just hit me hard.
It's really
like
hard.
what hit you hard about it the most? Was it your physical condition? You know?
No, honestly, if I'm being honest, I think it's because I had to put my shit in check. You know what I mean? It's like that right there is, since I wasn't so fucking confident that when I get there, because I mean, if I could run that scenario in my head and I wasn't questioning my ability to fucking help when I got there,
right?
Okay, that's what pisses me off.
Gotcha.
Okay, because I'm fucking questioning myself.
Right.
There's no, I push myself to the fucking limit so many times, and I've improved so much. Right? Yeah. There should be no question.
You're really fucking angry about that.
Yeah.
Really angry.
But I mean, but really, like, that's what pisses me off the most. And there's so many fucking staff out there, or so many people out there in general, that don't see that. And that don't fucking push themselves to their limit. And
about it, yeah.
They're gonna fucking fail in life. Mm-hmm. You know, because they don't want to fucking move. Mm-hmm. Then fucking open a book or try to improve in any way. Because they're not looking around, they're not looking at their surroundings.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not looking at their surroundings, they're not assessing themselves, and they're just fucking at a standstill. Like you're in a situation that you don't like, then fucking do something about it. You know what I mean? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I mean, well, like we said, like life is pain. Every human feels pain, right? I think a lot of people, as a disconnect, they'll avoid that. They won't think about it, and they'll focus on other things and just act like it's not there. But the only way to get through pain is to suffer, right? And that's how you find your happiness. How you get your joy. But you got to go through that suffer, and it starts with pain. You go through the suffer, and then you can find your happiness. Right. That's all there is, and that's only temporary. That lasts one day, and rents due tomorrow.
Everything
if you want
in
it
life,
back.
everything in life is temporary. Yeah. Everything doesn't matter what it is temporary. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
You're right. We only get one.
You get right. Uno.
Live it to your fullest, and fucking always seek that improvement. Word. Always assess yourself. Assess your surroundings.
Hey, guys, we said that like 3 podcasts now. If you're watching, you like the show, and you're not assessing yourself, I don't know what the fuck you're listening to. You gotta look at your strengths, your weaknesses. Take a step back, evaluate yourself honestly, and grow. It's that simple, right? Like you said, even if it's just picking up a book, read the fucking Swiss Family Robinsons, whatever. Okay, but grow, right? Not Dr. Seuss though, because apparently
I was just about to say Dr. Seuss. God damn it,
he's racist, Cornell. You can't do that. Yeah. We lost Pepe Le Pew and Dr. Seuss, bro.
Jeez,
man, that pisses me off.
Right.
All
right, so guys, thanks for watching the podcast. If you got anything from this, like it, share it with everybody, because I mean, we always try to seek improvement, right? And you should help somebody seek improvement. And if this is the way to do it, then share it. Don't forget to click that notification bell so it makes the
ding
sound when we post content. But I mean, really, like, get pissed off if you're not where you want to be.
Right.
And that's going to light that little flame inside of you and use that to your advantage.
You let that fire spread until it becomes fun.
Yeah.
Then you're winning.
Then you're winning.
Stack those wins.
Yes.
That's right. So, anyways, share this podcast, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and
Comment, guys. Comment below. Do that.
yeah. Do you have anything else for these guys?
No, spread those comments. Want to see them. If it's a thumbs up,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
One of
Any
those,
questions,
whatever.
all that stuff.
Get all that stuff.
Spread the word.
Yeah, you guys want to ask us something? Let us know. We'll address it on the next podcast. Just get it out there. Communicate with us. Give us feedback.
Moist.
Yeah.
And share this. Moist.
Fucking that word.
All right. Anyways, guys, love you. Thanks for watching, and yeah, stay classy. All right, and we're done.
Go fuck yourself, Cordero.
Okay. I don't know why I always do this. You know what I did it myself?
Just click. Yeah, you just
Boom.
click the button.
Click the
It's
button.
literally clicking a button.
It's right there.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Okay. This way. This.
If you guys are interested in a job, just comment in the post below. We need a new tech. Stop the podcast. Let me know.